The Corpus Hermeticum, read by Alexander Scourby. Chapter 1. Poemandres, the Shepherd of Men. 1. It chanced once on a time my mind was meditating on the things that are, my thought was raised to a great height, the senses of my body being held back, just as men who are weighed down with sleep after a fill of food or from fatigue of body. Methought a being more than vast, in size beyond all bounds, called out my name and saith, What wouldst thou hear and see, and what hast thou in mind to learn and know? 2. And I do say, Who art thou? He saith, I am man-shepherd, Poemandres, mind of all masterhood. I know what thou desirest, and I'm with thee everywhere. 3. And I reply, I long to learn the things that are, and comprehend their nature, and know God. This is, I said, what I desire to hear. He answered back to me, Hold in thy mind all thou wouldst know, and I will teach thee. 4. E'en with these words his aspect changed, and straightway, in the twinkling of an eye, all things were opened to me, and I see a vision limitless, all things turned into light, sweet, joyous, light. And I became transported as I gazed. But in a little while darkness came settling down on part of it, awesome and gloomy, coiling in sinuous folds, so that methought it like unto a snake. And then the darkness changed into some sort of a moist nature, tossed about beyond all power of words, belching out smoke as from a fire, and groaning forth a wailing sound that beggars all description. And after that an outcry inarticulate came forth from it, as though it were a voice of fire. 5. Thereon, out of the light, a holy word, Logos, descended on that nature, and upwards to the height from the moist, nature leaped forth pure fire. Light was it, swift and active too. The air too, being light, followed after the fire, from out of the earth and water rising up to fire, so that it seemed to hang therefrom. But earth and water stayed so mingled with each other that earth from water no one could discern. Yet were they moved to hear by reason of the spirit word, Logos, pervading them. 6. Then saith to me man-shepherd, Didst understand this vision what it means? Nay, that shall I know, said I. That light, he said, am I, thy God, mind, prior to moist nature which appeared from darkness. The light word, Logos, that appeared from mind, is Son of God. What then, say I? Know that what sees in thee and hears is the Lord's word, Logos, but mind is Father God. Not separate are they the one from other, just in their union, rather is it life consists. Thanks be to thee, I said. So, understand the light, he answered, and make friends with it. 7. And speaking thus, he gazed for long into my eyes, so that I trembled at the look of him. But when he raised his head, I see and mind the light, but now in powers no man could number, and cosmos grown beyond all bounds, and that the fire was compassed round about by a most mighty power, and now subdued had come unto a stand. And when I saw these things, I understood by reason of man-shepherd's word, Logos. 8. But as I was in great astonishment, he saith to me again, Thou didst behold in mind the archetypal form, whose being is before beginning without end. Thus spake to me man-shepherd. And I say, Whence then have nature's elements their being? To this he answer gives, From will of God. Nature received the word, Logos, and gazing upon the cosmos beautiful did copy it, making herself into a cosmos, by means of her own elements, and by the births of souls. 9. And God the mind, being male and female both, as light and life subsisting, brought forth another mind to give things form, who, God as he was of fire and spirit, formed 7 rulers, who enclose the cosmos that the sense perceives. Men call their ruling fate. 10. Straightway from out the downward elements, God's reason, Logos, leaped up to nature's pure formation, and was at one with the formative mind, for it was coessential with it. And nature's downward elements were thus left reasonless, so as to be pure matter. 11. Then the formative mind, at one with reason, he who surrounds the spheres and spins them with his whirl, set turning his formations, and let them turn from a beginning boundless unto an endless end. For that the circulation of these spheres begins where it doth end, as mind doth will. And from the downward elements nature brought forth lives reasonless, for he did not extend the reason, Logos, to them. The air brought forth things winged, the water things that swim, and earth and water one from another parted, as mind willed. And from her bosom earth produced what lives she had, 4-footed things and reptiles, beasts wild and tame. 12. But All-Father Mind, being life and light, did bring forth man co-equal to himself, with whom he fell in love, as being his own child. For he was beautiful beyond compare, the image of his sire. In very truth God fell in love with his own form, and on him,